Heat issues aren't just a problem for humans. Your pets can suffer from heat exhaustion too. And joining us to talk more about it and how to keep your pets healthy in the heat is Mary Heiser with the Capitol Area Humane Society. Good morning, Mary.
Good morning, Josh.
First, tell us about this kitten you brought with you this morning.
Absolutely. This very active young lady is Christine. She is 12 weeks old and she's ready to go home today. She would love to be adopted. She's already had her spay surgery and she would make somebody a great new family pet.
And what are her adoption fees?
Her adoption fee is $70 regularly. If she's still here next Friday, her adoption fee would only be $5. We're continuing our $5 Fridays into July.
And that's been very successful.
Very. We adopted out over 200 cats in the month of June.
Very good. Now let's talk about the heat, because we looked at the 7-day forecast. It's
Absolutely
going to be in the 90s. You factor in that humidity, it's going to feel brutal out there. What do we need to keep an eye on when it comes to our pets?
We really want to watch our pets because it's not necessarily how we're feeling, it's how they're feeling and how they react. And the very young, like Christine, or the very old, or the elderly, or flat-faced, like Persians or pugs, you want to keep an extra eye on. But if you see them being lethargic, excessive drooling, a little, not drinking as much as usual. One of the best ways to check is to look at their gums, and if they have bright red gums and a tongue, that's a very good sign of heat stroke. We also look at their capillary response if you push their gums and if the color doesn't come back right away. Another way for dehydration is look at their scruff. If their scruff bounces right back, then they're not dehydrated, but if it stays, then they are. So you really want to watch it, because 70 may feel fine to you, but if you have your little buddy in a sunbeam and they're too little to be smart enough to move, they could be getting a little overheated.
Oh. Okay, now you see some of these signs. What do you do?
Seek a veterinarian immediately, because they want to check the internal temperature and they'll cool your cat down, probably with IV fluids. You don't want to immerse your cat or throw cold water on your cat. You want to use a cool cloth and cool them down slowly. Okay,
what are some steps we can take to prevent this as far as keeping our pets safe in the heat?
Clearly, like with Christine, one water dish probably isn't going to cut it, because I think she'll spill it in the first 5 minutes. Okay. So multiple water dishes, so if one gets spilled while you're otherwise occupied, they still have water. You want to make sure that you leave, like with cats, leave the basement door open, so if the power would go off and the air conditioning would go off, that they'd be able to seek the coolest place in the house.
Okay, and if you have maybe a neighbor that has a pet that looks like it's suffering, you have humane agents.
Please call us. Yes, call us at 777-7387 extension 250 and talk to our dispatcher, because we're pulling in an awful lot of animals who do not have adequate protection from the heat and the sun.
Okay, before we let you go, what are the hours where we can get Christine?
You can adopt Christine from 12 to 5 today, and she may actually be out at Easton Market on Marv today from 11:30 to 1:30.
Okay, very good. Mary, thanks for joining us this morning.